We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
What he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't see,
It's right there, Jets.
I am disgracefully wearing a Jets shirt. This is what happens when you're pissed off at your team, but you forget to do your laundry. You still have to wear their horrible shit.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this up because I know there are a lot of people who are not football fans, but as I have painfully learned recently, Tebow has gone transcended football and he is a media blah 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 blah.
They say he's one of the most polarizing figures in sports today, and some were trying to say that he was the most polarizing sports figure ever, but that was shot down by Stephen A. Smith, who mentioned one Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So, you know, well, let's not go that far, but he's definitely, as far as in this generation, I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, yeah, to basically bring those who don't know who this guy is up to speed, we're mega NFL fans. We don't watch college because college is shit.
And I'm a Denver Broncos fan where Tebow just was traded from. So.
And no one really cared, but he said it anyway.
Yeah.
So Tebow was what they said arguably the greatest college football player ever. He played quarterback, but the reality is he played at the quarterback position. Didn't really play quarterback.
No.
He bust through fucking lines and ran people over, and he threw some passes and blah 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 blah.
He's
blah.
a shaved Neanderthal,
Yeah.
basically.
Basically, yeah, construction worker without the hard hat.
Yeah.
Actually, he does have the hard hat. He has the
No,
hard
yeah,
hat.
yeah,
Exactly.
he definitely has the hard
construction worker. So he went to the Denver Broncos, as he just said, and that was a mess. And his quarterbacking skills were atrocious, but somehow he won games. Blah 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 blah. My stupid ass Jets team,
New York team.
fought
exactly.
fought all of like 2 teams to bring this guy to New York. The quarterback they already have now is mediocre, okay at best, and now he's going to be crying in his helmet because Tebow is getting cheers and jeers, and it's just going to be a mess.
Well, let's just address this first.
Yeah.
Okay. The Jets are already the second-hand stepchild in New York City because the Giants won, what, 2 Super Bowls in 4 years? And Leon
right.
Hess, the former owner, he's dead now, right?
Yeah,
He's rolling in his grave. Obviously, he skinned some goats way back in the days and damned his soul to eternal failure because the Jets are they're like the Knicks. They're just doomed. They just do bad things. They just, I don't know, just have no luck. So to get this guy, you know, to come to your franchise was smart in one respect because basically everyone knows who this guy is, even though they don't know who he is. You said a friend of yours referenced this dude, and she doesn't even watch football.
Yeah, she hates football. She doesn't like football. She gets depressed because, you know, she knows when it's football season, you know, I don't take any phone calls unless you're talking about football.
Yeah.
And she texted me, "Hey, I heard Tim Tebow is on the Jets now. Are you happy?" And I'm like, okay, that's the only thing you know about the Jets? That's the only thing you know about football is that Tebow's here.
Now, why do you think he's so polarizing? Because it's the religious aspect of it, and then also Stephen A. Smith brought up something. This is, you know, and we could throw both of these out there real quick, and I actually want you to chime in for a little bit, on this particular thing. Stephen A. Smith says a lot of guys in the black barbershops all around the place, and if you know anything about black culture, the barbershops is one of the places where you do a lot of your social interaction, your gossip mongering, horror mastering, whatever you want, that's where you do it. Everybody go get their line up and talk. So he was saying basically Tebow has been condemned for being an athlete who is not very good at his position, and he has a very low football IQ. The same thing that was being levied upon a lot of African American quarterbacks who were then told to be tight ends and running backs, or in some cases like Charlie Ward, even though Charlie Ward actually didn't want to come to football, but was basically told that you will never be able to attain this position, or you'll be a clip holder for the rest of your life. And this guy continues to get starting gigs and things like that because of what? Now, obviously it can't be because of his Christian beliefs, because not everybody's a Christian. So if it's not I mean, how do you feel about that, Abe? I mean, the fact that he's getting chances that a lot of African-American quarterbacks never got.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not mad at it. And I'm not mad at it from 2 different standpoints. Number one, this guy's the backup quarterback.
He's not going to be the backup for much longer.
I think he will. I think he will.
So?
I think he will. And not only that, it's also one of those smart business moves. That's your.
But see, that's all it is. It's a business move.
It's a business
man.
move. And when you're looking at whether we look at colleges or professional sports teams, and we have some sort of different vested interest in those type of things. Bottom line is they're still a business. It's a business,
and
that's going to affect the bottom line. I mean, you know how many Tebow T-shirts they probably sold already?
But dig it though. There are 31 other businesses in this industry, and only 2 others even lifted their heads up.
Now, is that a smart move or a not so smart?
Okay, see, because I was always under the belief that
football move, I think is terrible.
No,
I think
it's a terrible football move, and I think it's going to implode that team to the point to where they'll sell tickets, but they're not going to make it to if they get to the playoffs. It's going to be
where do you look at the Jets? Do you look at them and say, well, we could possibly win a Super Bowl, and this guy may come in, ruin the chemistry, and blow it all up? Or are you looking at the Jets as a team that's possibly in transition? So you know what? Let's bring somebody in, make some money now. And,
if they didn't give Sanchez $20 million,
but seriously, how much money is this going to bring the Jets? I mean,
I think a ton. I think a ton.
They were still, because since Ryan came here, they've been pretty much selling out. So you're not going to get any tickets. Okay, well, you may sell a handful of people. I don't care. You think people are going to really dig down deep to get $5,000 extra dollars?
You know what it is?
Just to go see PSL for Tebow? Yeah,
I think it's the non-football fans that'll do it. You know, and I'm gonna make the comparison. It reminds me of Jeremy Lin. Yeah. I mean, at this point, Jeremy Lin could be a subpar player for the rest of his career. He's always going to have a starting job because he fills every stadium that he goes to.
Just voted, by the way, the most revered and loved player in New York City.
Oh man, I don't want to hear that.
Jeremy Lin.
Whatever. But Lin is good. But see, the difference between Lin and Tebow is Lin can actually play. He can actually play. Tebow, and mind you, like I said, Tebow played for my team, so I had to root for this dude all last year. But he looked like he was completely colorblind at some point in time, or like he didn't understand that he was supposed to actually be able to throw the ball to a particular individual. And he is so bad that I think what's going to happen is if he does happen to get the starting job, he's going to fail miserably because that Wildcat is a joke.
Right.
And already it's divided the locker room in the sense that Sanchez was placed in a situation to where if he had said, hey, look, I don't want this guy coming here, right, which I think he should have done, then obviously since Tebow was traded, you automatically have a division right there. But by him relenting and being all goody-goody, palsy-walsy, how are the other players on the team supposed to respect you as the leader if another guy's coming and taking a third of your snaps and you're okay with it? You're like,
but it's obvious they didn't respect him as the leader going into
I know.
this.
But then why give him 20? That's why I said the Jets are lunatics. So why give him $20 million?
Because it's all. Well, first of all, it was some cap relief. They're willing to pay him a couple extra bucks now. I think it's like only $2 million extra they paid him than to finish out his last contract. And they're going to get cap relief from next year and the year after. But you don't. I mean, big money comes from winning.
See,
and if
listen,
you're not going to win,
it does. But I don't see. I think you're missing it. I think they really don't think they're going to win. If you really look at it this year, I really feel that they basically gave up on Mark Sanchez to a certain point. They were willing to bring in.
Well, this certainly proves that.
They were willing to bring in Peyton Manning. Right, and I think if there were other quarterbacks that were available, they probably would have at least tried to test the waters, but they didn't because there weren't too many quarterbacks available. Mm-hmm. The GM said that the landscape of the quarterback position is going to drastically change, and for the most part, they brought in 2 backup quarterbacks this year already.
Basically,
and they're saying that they don't have faith in this man playing a quarterback position. So I think whatever they're doing now is basically a holdover because they don't firmly believe in either quarterback.
Now, do you think that Tebow's actually going to start this year, take the job from Sanchez?
No,
you don't. I think he will.
I don't think so.
And the reason I think he will is Sanchez.
Not unless he gets hurt.
See, no, I think Sanchez is such a derelict, and I think he's going to crack what's happening right now. His productivity is going to go down, and just by the fact that he's playing as poorly as he's been known to play, they're going to inject. I'm not saying Tebow will finish the season, but I think he'll.
Well, see, I think you're partway right. He's gonna crack, but they're going to start him just because, again, these guys don't make football decisions. They'll some point they'll be like, did you hear the crowd? Let's start Tebow and see what happens.
The same thing that happened in Denver. Because if you remember in Denver, he was the 3rd string quarterback.
He was at first. He wasn't even on the dress squad. He was the 4th string. And then they started taking out billboards and all the rest of the stuff because John Elway and Fox, they didn't want that guy. They honestly didn't want him, and they never implemented his way of playing. And this is another reason why I think the Jets are insane, because they keep sticking to this Wildcat, yet Tim Tebow has never played, from what I understand, the Wildcat ever in college. So he was playing the spread option. So.
But I heard he saw the movie Wildcat, though.
Oh, yeah, word.
Well, we know he's certainly not a
Wildcat
because Tebow, and so, I mean, back to the broader spectrum of Tebow mania, you know, personally, I don't understand what the hell the big deal is. I mean, so the guy prays, okay, he's a virgin, that's crazy.
It worked for Barry Sanders for most of his career, and AC Green for the Lakers back in the days. You know,
Barry Sanders a virgin?
No, he ain't a virgin. His son played.
I'm thinking back when he was playing.
Well, for the most part,
Oh,
yeah. Barry Sanders was, he practiced.
I'm a Detroit Lion
He
fan.
practiced abstinence. He was my favorite running back. He practiced abstinence, but AC Green was just devout. I'm not giving it up to nobody.
AC Green probably just didn't have a dick and he didn't want to tell anybody.
Well, he also was rocking a Jerry curl. That probably stopped him.
Yeah, that
he
made
probably
it
would,
really
every time
easy.
he was going to get some draw, he probably slipped on that juice and knocked himself out, so and couldn't consummate the act anyway.
Or he blinded the chick as he was leaving over and she started screaming.
Scalding out her pupils with that juice.
But okay, so he's a virgin. So again, who the hell cares? The Tebowing shit, the kneeling down again. Cats after every game getting a huddle praise. I'm like, why does anybody give a shit? Why do people care?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess I should have been watching him in college to figure this all out. I mean, is it a national championships? Okay, so he won 2 national championships.
And he won a Heisman Trophy. And you know what it was? They said this dude was a field hand from day one in high school, and he's always somehow managed to win.
And he does.
And I don't know how he does it. It's like
faith?
You see, that's what I'm saying. What happened last year with the Bears when the guy didn't run out of bounds, which was all he had to do was, if he caught a Fred Sanford heart attack and dropped to the floor, they would have won that game. So it was inexplicable actions like that you
can't explain.
You can't explain. You would think that it's divine intervention. Now, if this is always happening in his career, I can see a GM going, I don't know what it is, but somehow it just seems to happen around this kid. But to bring him to this city, New York City is not the place to run an experiment like this. The media is already destroying this cat, destroying the Jets.
Yeah, but they clearly don't care. They sent him up to the
because
press
Madison
conference
Avenue, the madman,
completely by himself.
But you know what, though? We're talking about it. It's nowhere near Jet season. Think about this offseason.
Exactly.
Think about this offseason.
Exactly.
I mean, we had
the same
Peyton
thing.
Manning, signing with the Denver Broncos, which you should be happy about.
Yes,
we
yes,
had the guys getting suspended. What's his name? Sean Payton. Right, and the whole bounties and everything else is going on as far as people going to different teams. But yet, we're all still talking about Tebow. The Knicks is in the playoff hunt. Everybody still is just talking about Tebow.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it is going to just...
It is, like you said, from a strictly business standpoint, it is smart. But I just think, and mind you, the comment that I made about the whole black quarterback, and that was basically Stephen A. Smith and as early as today, Donovan McNabb's viewpoint.
Donovan McNabb is an angry black quarterback.
He's a straight hater.
He's angry because his whole career smiling and kissing the white man's ass.
No,
but that's his fault.
No,
exactly.
and also, but he's also spent his entire career being sort of like Tebow light with a better arm, and look where it got him.
Because he's a Jasper who didn't stand up for himself.
No, see, and let that be a lesson to people out there, all the athletes. If you want to be a shuffling cottonmouth Sambo that never stands up for yourself, that's what happens to you. That's what happens.
Just one final, view on TV. And just to put this out there, I don't care who is lighting the loafers, whatever. Just don't give a shit. But I have the gaydar of Mr. Magoo. Okay, I can't tell fucking gay people from a gay tiger. But when I was watching the press conference the other day, Tebow seems a bit sweet.
Well, no, you know what? Tebow, he reminds me of Link from Legend of Zelda on steroids. If you look at Tim Tebow's face, he looks like Link from Legend of Zelda on steroids. But as far as anything else, I mean, he doesn't sound like a tire going flat. Oh, that wasn't politically correct. But that was really... Strike that. But I don't know. I really never paid any attention to that, and it really doesn't matter to me.
But it would explain why he's a virgin. And it would explain why...
You mean like Bear Jones' variation of being a virgin?
Right.
Like Bear Jones.
Yeah, a heterosexual version. Yeah. And it could explain why he loved the Lord so much. Because, black folks love praying to God so they'd not be gay anymore. Maybe Tebow's doing the same shit.
I don't know. You know what? But I never got any vibe from him one way or another. I wouldn't care what he was as long as the boy can play. That's my main problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit.
That's my main problem. You can't play. You can't play, and you're getting all of this shine, and you cannot play.
Speaking of, loving the Lord and possibly being gay, did you hear the joke about why priests love 26-year-olds?
No. Why? Why? Why do priests love 26-year-olds?
Because there's 20 of them.
We wanna make it, baby. We're gonna